She just woke up to her own feeling, but no one can see her. Ava stumbled backward, her knees weak as she stared at the grieving crowd. The priest's voice droned on, but it was muffled, like she was underwater. Her mother's cries pierced through the haze, sharp and broken. Ava tried to scream, to tell them she was there, but her voice was a hollow echo in the vast silence around her. The man in the shadows stepped forward, his polished shoes clicking against the church floor. His presence was unnerving, his pale face both familiar and foreign. "You weren't supposed to die that night," he said, his voice as cold as the grave. "What are you talking about?" Ava demanded, though she wasn't sure he could hear her. He smiled, a thin, cruel curve of his lips. "You escaped me once, but no one escapes twice." Memories rushed back the moment her car skidded on the icy bridge, the split second she saw the truck barreling toward her. She had felt the cold water pull her under, but then, nothing. She had woken up in her bed, alive and unharmed. "You cheated death," the man said, circling her. "But I always collect what's owed." This man was warned not to open the ancient chest. He didn't listen. Simon stared at the black stone, its faint glow illuminating the dim room. The carvings on the chest seemed to ripple, as if the wood itself were alive. He felt a strange compulsion to keep holding the stone, despite the icy cold that seeped into his skin. The voice grew louder, a guttural chant that made his ears ring. Simon stumbled back, dropping the stone. It rolled across the floor, leaving scorch marks in its wake. The air grew thick, and the room darkened, the shadows coiling like living things. "Release us," the voice hissed. Simon turned toward the chest. It was empty, but something moved within its depths, an endless void that seemed to stretch into another world. A hand, skeletal and blackened, reached out, clawing at the edge of the chest. Panicking, Simon grabbed the stone and tried to shove it back inside, but it was too late. The room erupted with a deafening roar as more hands emerged, dragging themselves into his world. "You should have listened," a voice whispered in his ear, just before the lights went out.